Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. I've got a brand new Prius sitting over here. This is the redesigned Toyota Prius, and I think some of the things on the Prius can give us a little bit of insight into what we're going to have on the new Toyota Tacoma. So we're going to take a look at a few things that I think are going to carry over, because why wouldn't Toyota? They don't need to reinvent the wheel for some things, right? First of all, if you've seen the new Pro, and here is an early rendering of it, then you know that it's got some piano-type finish fender flares. Not on the painted version or the non-Pro version, but on the Pro version. The same material, at least it appears to me, as what the Toyota Prius has on it. You can see this material right here, and it is speckled. There's like what looks to be some sort of metallic flake look to it as far as what it's made of or what the coloring is. And I think this is going to be the same kind of finish that we're going to have on the TRD Pro. You can see it on the mirror as well. It really looks to be the same kind of thing. And that's as opposed to the kind of more matte finished, rubbery looking material that we have right now. Next up, we're going to take a quick look inside, and that is the screen in there. We're going to take a look at the screen inside the Toyota Prius, because I think we're going to have a lot of similarities between the two, at least when it comes to functionality. Because I think there's going to be a lot of similarities. By the way, I love this blue accent they have in here, but that's a different channel. If you want to check out the Prius, by the way, I do have a separate channel for that. It is hybrid driven. It's all about the new Prius, so you can check that out. So let's take a look here. We've got the screen, and particularly responsiveness. I mean, it works almost seamlessly when you hit different things on here. I love that. You can go to settings. There's all kinds of different things you can do, which is pretty cool. I mean, for me, it's really more a factor of the responsiveness of it. It works very seamlessly, much like your iPhone does. Now, the size of it, this is a 12-point-some-odd-inch screen. It's huge. We're going to have a bigger screen option in the Tacoma, of course, and it is this floating screen design. Not as bad as I thought, having experienced it for a while, but it is going to take a little bit of getting used to, I think, in the new Tacoma. Let's go ahead and power down. There's the new gauge cluster, by the way. Next up, we've got to talk about the hybrid, because the Pro, I believe, is going to be a hybrid. Now, this, of course, is a hybrid. It's a 2-liter all-wheel drive. Now, one thing that I've noticed is the switchover. It does it seamlessly. It's really quite amazing. I'll put the screen, there's a screen in there where you can see what the power distribution is, whether it's EV, whether it's the engine, a combination, whatever. It's a seamless transition. You know, I'm not a big fan of auto stop, and I think auto stop is kind of the bridge between just a naturally aspirated engine or one without any kind of power saving or emissions saving feature. Now we have the hybrid. We're going to have it in the Tacoma. No auto stop, just this seamless switchover, and I'm sure they'll do it the same way as they do in the new hybrid. Got to admit, I'm pretty impressed. I can hardly ever tell, most of the time never tell, when it's switching between all electric and hybrid mode. Pretty cool. Now, as far as power goes, gotta say I'm impressed with that as well. This is 196 horsepower combined, I believe, in a little dinky car like this, although it's not the lightest car in the world because of that battery. It has some hefty weight to it. And you know the new Tacoma is going to as well. It's going to have that battery probably underneath the rear seat, which means you're going to lose that rear seat storage. That's kind of a bummer. We don't have any under-seat storage in this Prius. We're not going to have any under-seat storage in the new Tacoma. Now, let's talk about fuel requirements. Right now, we take an 87 octane. You can put premium in it, whatever you want. Big controversy to that. I would never burn premium in it. There's really no reason unless you want to enrich the oil companies or the gas companies a little bit more. This hybrid system burns 87 octane as well. So any rumors you hear out there about it requiring premium fuel, that's just people trying to spread false information. It's going to burn 87 octane, and by the way, so is the Turbo 4 version. Not going to have any premium fuel requirement. Now, as far as the engine goes, I think there's going to be a couple in the new Tacoma. At first, we're going to have a 4-cylinder turbo. That's what they're going to come out with until probably about mid next year is what I'm hearing. Could even go into late next year, I don't know. But it's my guess it'll be the same engine, maybe even the same engine, I'm not sure, but the same setup as what's in the Prius. We're going to have probably a 2-liter engine hybrid system. No turbo. I mean, I can't see putting a turbo in a hybrid system. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I think it's going to be very similar to what I have here. It may be the exact same engine, the same setup, who knows. Will that be enough for the Toyota Tacoma? Is the Tacoma going to feel as quick and as peppy as this car does? And speaking of peppy, it is an all-wheel drive. It's a 0 to 60 to give you some kind of point of reference, I guess, as to what kind of power it's going to be. 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. It's not a rocket ship, but I gotta say, it's a heck of a lot of fun to drive, and I hope the new Toyota Tacoma is just as fun in its own right. Now, one more thing I want to talk about are the finishes inside. We've got more of this piano finish stuff on the sides. I think we're going to have the same thing here, at least in the Pro version. Now, on the interior of the car, there are a few areas, I guess, that have piano finish on them. You can see all around the dash, a little bit in the cluster, or the front dash area, if you will. Here on the steering wheel, we've got some. I think we're going to have the same kind of thing on the interior of the new Tacoma. Not quite sure how I feel about that, really. Piano finishes tend to scratch. They also tend to grab fingerprints, and that's what's happening inside my new Prius. Lots of fingerprints all over the place. I haven't had any scratches yet, but really that's mostly because I haven't had the car long enough. I'm sure that's going to come. Good news for the aftermarketers that put out screens and covers for those areas, like Screen Protect. By the way, they have a great product for the gauge cluster in the Tacoma, gets rid of the scratching and all that stuff. There is a discount code down below. Really should check that out. I love it in mine. So anyway, I think the new Prius does give us a little bit of insight as to what the new Toyota Tacoma is going to be. I'm pretty happy with it. Not necessarily the new Tacoma, I haven't experienced that yet, but the way that they have this new Prius set up. And let me say, first of all, I was always a detractor when it came to the Prius. Made fun of it many times on the channel. Now I have to eat my words. Love the new design, love the systems. I think it's awesome. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Are you excited about some of these things? Do you think that maybe some of the stuff that I showed you on the Prius will work well in the Tacoma? Because you know we're not going to have a choice. It's coming. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.